Okay, I want to ask you this question because there's a burden in my heart to share with you. As a believer or as a Christian, when you find yourself into sin, should you run away from God or should you turn back to God? I have to ask this question because a lot of people react differently with respect to sin. So what a lot of people do is when they find themselves into sin, they tend to run away from God. They will start to hide from God's presence, from Christian activity and all rest of them because their conscience is pricking them. Now, but what should be the ideal attitude of a Christian who happens to fall into sin? The story of Adam and Eve gave us a clue. So Adam and Eve, they ate the fruit that God said they shouldn't eat, according to Genesis chapter 3. And then, because of that, they started hiding from God. The Bible said that in the evening, they heard the voice of God in the garden, walking in the garden. And then they went and hid. So even when God was calling, Adam, Adam, where are you? So the only response that Adam could give to God is that, I heard your voice and I am afraid. I went and hid myself because I'm naked. So meanwhile, God knows that they have already taken that fruit. But he still have to come and meet him. So you see, you find out that it's not the way that you see this God that this God actually is. And I'm not saying this thing because I want to encourage somebody that is living in iniquity. No, but I want to encourage that person that thought that God have ruled him out, that God that he cannot do anything with God again, that because of what he have done, that God cannot welcome him again. So I'm actually making this video because of you, because I want to tell you that irrespective of what you have done, if you can turn back to God, God will welcome you back. And you see, the story of prodigal son taught us a lot of things. The prodigal son went to a different country, went there, squandered his father's words, and then one day he regained his consciousness. He said, I will go back to my father, that I know I'm not worthy to be his son again, that I will just go and beg him, sir, can I be your servant? Let me just be serving and be feeding well. Now, but what happened to the prodigal son shocked him. The Bible said that while he was still very far away, coming back to the father, that the father sighted him and ran and gave him a hug, welcomed him with celebration and party. The father went and dressed him with the best garments and made a party for him. So when he was coming back to be a servant. But when he came back, the father welcomed him as a son. He said, this my son was lost but now found. So don't think that because you have sinned against God, that God have discarded you like a rag. No. He may be angry, but he's ready to welcome you back, even more than you are ready to come back to him. If you can make a step forward towards God, you will find out that God will make more than 10 steps forward to welcome you and to draw you to himself. So, like I said, this is not an encouragement for one to dwell in iniquity, but this is a message of hope to somebody who thought that all hope is lost. Yes, maybe all through your days you have never slept with a woman, or maybe no man has ever crossed you, and then by one thing or the other you fell into sexual immorality, and then you conclude that God can never do anything with you. In that situation you are, if you can turn back to God, he will welcome you back. Like, he will welcome you back. The only thing that God is looking for is our heart posture.